What is up, guys? Today's video is going to be on rest days and recovery. So if you're at different points in your lifting journey, obviously this is going to look different to you. Usually when you're starting off, you either love the rest days or you hate them and want to just get back into the gym to do more work. And if you're more experienced, it's similar, but you're more mature to the fact that they're necessary for you to hit your gym goals and either progress in strength or progress in whatever metric you're trying to improve through working out. So I just thought of this topic today when I was taking my rest day. I've been seeing some good progress in the gym and I wanted to keep going, but my joints are like screaming at me and I'm sore. You get a little bit of those nagging injuries that kind of carry on for a while. Making sure that you're able to take the rest day even when you don't feel like it is the mark of a mature lifter, I would argue. So make sure you are taking them. It is very important to make sure you're actually fully recovered or restarting your cycle. If you're doing like push-pull legs or like full body or bro split, whatever you're doing, it is important to take some time off, especially if you're focusing heavily on progressive overload. So the main reason that I think of for this is that your tendons and joints do not build up as fast as your muscles do, right? So let's say you see some good progress, you've gained 40 pounds on an exercise in the past month, or a little bit of knee pain if you're doing squats, right? Or a little bit of lower back pain if you're doing deadlifts, or a little bit of shoulder or elbow pain, like I said, for doing some pressing movements like bench press or incline press. This could be because you're either not training the proper accessory exercises needed to keep everything fluid and working well in sync, or you may have just got more muscle and have increased your strength rapidly, which is good, but now your joints and tendons need some time to catch up, right? As they grow at a slower rate. I think it's like for the muscle you gain 1 month, probably like 2 to 3 months, up to 6 months, depending on your diet and all that. If you're taking enough collagen, creatine, protein, or for your tendons to grow properly for that 1 month of muscle. So what is the best thing you can do then? So if you have to take the rest day, but you still want to get some exercise, I personally just go for walks, since I find this is the best way. I can still move. You're kind of like lubricating all your joints and muscles and everything, but it's not too taxing to the point where it's going to impede your next workout and really prevent your muscles, tendons, joints from recovering. And this is just maturing as a lifter or as anyone in fitness, is understanding as you get stronger, you're not able to lift the same weight, like 7 days in a row, unless you're enhanced, right? Which in that case, these rules can be bent a little bit for you, but for most people who are natural lifters, it is not recommended to work out 7 days a week. This is terrible for your gains, and you're going to be doing way too much volume, not enough recovery time. Because remember, the muscles and everything are built when you're resting, when you're recovering. This is why you need to make sure you're getting enough sleep, you're getting enough protein, enough fuel, calories to build up the muscles. Because working out in the gym, this breaks down the muscle. So you're doing the damage for it to grow, right? You're causing the stimulus. But actually sleeping enough, recovering, and not, using the same muscle within like 48 hours or even 72 hours, depending how much volume or how many sets you did, how intense they were, for it to fully recover back to baseline. And that is where the growth is actually happening, when you're resting and recovering, not when you're actually doing it. So doing the exercise creates the stimulus, recovering and resting creates the actual growth, which is the goal of what a lot of people are going after, right? What a lot of people want to get, either bigger muscles, stronger muscles. And for either case, if these are your goals, the rest is the part that's actually causing this to happen. The rest is the important part. That's the other side of the coin, right? That gets neglected a lot. And I know no one wants to do rest days, right? Like I was saying about the beginner lifter versus the more advanced one. If you're getting on a hot streak, right? And like you're progressing very well, things are going good, you want to just keep being in the gym, right? This is like your source of dopamine. You're getting those dopamine hits every time you're progressing and PRing a movement. And that feels really good, right? It really motivates you, creates a positive feedback loop for you to keep doing this and keep progressing. But too much of a good thing is a bad thing, right? It's the old saying that the dose makes the cure or the poison. Too much of it, and you will inevitably get injured, tweak something, or really injure something, which is going to set you back even longer than if you were just smart and took the couple rest days here and there when you needed them. You know, maybe like train 3 days on, 1 day off. But if you need like an extra rest day or two, take them, right? If you're genuinely feeling sore and you feel like it's going to prevent your workout. Or if you do go to work out and you're testing it out, you're doing the warm-up set, it's feeling heavy, you know, that's just a sign your body's telling you not to go for a PR today, not to, really try to push it too much. Maybe do a little higher rep range and try to get some more blood flow. Focus on the eccentric for the tendons and joint health. So these are just some things that I wish I knew when I was starting out, because I've tweaked and injured, almost everything you can as a lifter, just from my own stupidity and not taking enough time to rest and trying to do too much. My peak when I was like injured was when I was doing like MMA like 4 times a week, so training like kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, and then I was doing bodybuilding, 3 days, 4 days on, 1 day off. And then inevitably I was seeing really good results at the start for a couple of months, but you hit a wall, and then eventually something breaks, something tweaks, get injured. And this is especially important if you're in a calorie deficit. So if you're cutting or doing like a recomp, you're not going to be able to recover as well, right? Because you're not getting the necessary food, which is the calories, the building blocks you need for the energy to be able to recover faster. If you're in a bigger calorie surplus, like a bulk, maybe you have a little more leeway to do this, but you're still going to want to take a couple of rest days, even if they're not as frequent if you are in that calorie surplus. But it's just a good rule of thumb. You don't want to be training every single day of the week, regardless of what people will portray on social media. Because keep in mind, half the people are just showing you some crazy routine that they don't even do themselves, or they didn't do themselves to get to where they are, but now they're showing it to you because this is what gets clicks, what goes viral. When in reality, the fundamentals, the building blocks of what actually works will actually get you the results you want. If you're starting off in the middle or even more advanced, it's the same thing, right? It's the same fundamentals. Eat enough protein, sleep enough, recover enough, lift with intensity, progressively overload all your exercises, either with doing more reps or doing heavier weight, and make sure you're listening to your body. If something's hurting, make sure you're improving this. Make sure you're not pushing through like bad pain, and take a break. Try to figure out what the weak points are and improve the weak points to increase your compound lifts. Focus on the compound lifts. Like, these are the fundamentals. Eat enough protein, like 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is like a good rule of thumb. And sleep at least 7.5 hours a night if you want maximum like recovery benefits. Eat protein and carbs like before and after your workouts to be able to increase the amount of protein muscle synthesis within that period. That is more than like a couple of things to think about. Like I said, life is extremely simple, but the complicated part is all the little simple things that you have to remember. But if you had to sum it up, just lift heavier and train with intensity, like try to go a little bit harder than last time in the gym. And then eat enough protein, sleep and recover enough. That's it. Those are the fundamentals. So on the rest days, even when you're not in the gym, when you want to be, and you're excited, things are going good, just remember, these rest days are when you are getting the results. This is when your body is building up and getting stronger to where you want to be and bring you closer to your goals. It's part of the process. It's not a bug. It's a feature. With that being said, I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much. I love you guys, and take care. I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, take consistent action on your main thing and don't stop.